Welcome back to Hackathon Entertainment TV. I'm Mr. Hackathon. I bring you the story behind every hack. In today's tutorial, what we're going to do is make a blogging app using Adalo. I'll give you a quick preview of something we're going to make. So this is actually a template that was created, and we're going to actually recreate something like this, at least the functionality. So I sign up, I add a username, email, password, sign up, and it should take me in. So it takes me into this regular page, and as you can see, there's some content here already, but I can click, I can add my first blog post. This is my first blog post. Publish, and what you will actually see is the blog post come up. I can click on it, it'll show me details. I can actually save this. So it's now saved. It has a menu where you have saved posts. And you can see the saved posts. You can see the followers, following, settings. So we're actually going to recreate this, or at least some of it. So I think we're going to recreate, if I can get back to, yeah, if I can get back home. So we're going to recreate this and some of the features. I don't think we're going to do the saved. I don't think we're going to do the saved or the following and followers. We'll maybe do that another day. But today we're just going to recreate this kind of timeline version. So let's get started. What I'm going to do is go to Adalo, log in. I want to initiate a new app. So I'm going to create a new app, new native mobile app. I can actually build from this template or other templates, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to start from scratch. I'm going to name it blogging. I'm going to name it Microblogging App. And what we want to do is actually, we're just going to work through the main functionality of this app. We're not going to worry too much about design and bonus features. What we do want to do is create something that allows people to create this timeline, and you never know, if I go through it really quickly, I actually might add some additional features. So what we actually have here are two data sets or two collections. We have posts and users. Under users, you can see they have posts created, like posts, followers, following, full name and password. Under ours, if we go to our new database, all we have is email, password, username, full name. And even in our onboarding, we take their full name, we don't take their username. So maybe the first thing we want to do is we want to add a field that says username, and we want to drag this up and drag that down. So we got, they're signing up, they have to put their username, full name, email, password, and that automatically gets added to the collection of username, full name, email, password. So we did that. What we want to do is add a collection for posts. So under posts in this template, they have name, content, author, which is a relational, and users who like. So we're not going to have users who like, but we are going to have author. So we go to ours, and we create a new collection. We name this posts, add. So you have a title of the post, that's name. We are going to have content. We also want to add relationship, and we want to have it a relationship to users. And this is going to be an important part. So we're going to explain some of these right here. What you can see is it gives you different entity relationships. So we're connecting the users collection to the post collection. So this first option says a user can have multiple posts. A post belongs to one user. This is the true statement that we want, but we're still going to go through the rest of them just to see. A user can only have one post. A post can have multiple users. We don't want that. We want a user to have multiple posts, and we only want a post to have one user. This one says a post can have multiple users, and a user can have multiple posts. Again, this is not what we want. What we want is a user can have multiple posts, and a post only belongs to one user. So we're going to click on that, click done. I need to see what they... So we're going to call it author. So if I click here, we don't have any data in our database, but if I was to add a post, you can see I would add a title of the post, I would add the content, and it will be connected to one user. We currently don't have any users in our database, so what I'm actually going to do is just add the first user. I'm going to add myself. So I'm going to add my email address. I'm going to add password. Should retype that. I'm going to add a username. I'm going to add a full name. So now I click save. You can see I have one user that was created a few seconds ago, but it doesn't have any posts associated to it. First and foremost, I don't even have any posts in my database. So what I want to go and do is, we just want to double check this. It still says 0 records. Let me just refresh that. It should say 1 record. Okay, yeah, 1 record. And I'm going to quickly add a post. So I'm going to say, hello world. And I'm going to say, this is Mr. Hackathon's first tutorial. First microblogging app. And I want to select myself as the author. And I'm just doing this to show you the back end and what it looks like when we create these relational collections. So as we can see here, we can see a list of posts, the name, the content, we can see the author, and that is directly connected. Remember, a post can only have one author, but an author can have multiple posts. So right now we can see one post, but if I was to add another post in this backend and connect it to myself, you would be able to see 2 posts right here. So now we set up, and we're just going to double check how they have it. Let's see this. And I think we're going to have to create more properties under the users collection, but we're going to leave it for now. What we want to do is add a custom list. I want to add a custom list to display. I'll just double check how. See, they have it styled a little differently, but this is just a custom list on the feed. So instead of home, I want to name this feed. And this is the home screen. This is going to be the first screen that the user can see once they log in. And like I said, we're not going to focus on the style too much and the design. I'm going to change this to feed. I'm going to remove this sign out icon right there. And what we currently have is a title and subtitle. What we want to do is connect this list to posts. And we want to sort the posts by created date, newest to oldest. Next, we want to dynamically map these components. So I want this to be the title. I want this to be the current post, the name. I don't want title right there. So this is going to dynamically pull the name of that post, the name of that particular item for the post. And next we want to dynamically pull the content. Current post is content. And let's see, edit styles. Yeah, everything is how we want it to be. So we're just going to preview that right now. So it's going to bring us to the sign up page. I can say I already have an account and that is not linked. So what I want to do is go to okay. It is linked. It was just hidden underneath. So if we go preview again, so click already have an account. Take me to log in. I begin to log in. So now I log in and it shows me the first post. I do want to limit, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do this, but I wanted to limit, I wanted to put a limit to how much you can see. I wanted to put a limit to a character count for the subtitle. So I'm going to attempt this again. Let's say change. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the character count, how I can limit the character count. Let's see what they did. I believe on this app, they didn't actually limit the character count. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think they limited the character count. So the only other way is maybe they limited it here. Nope. I don't think they limited the character count, but that's okay. So what we want next is to allow people to add. We want to allow people to add new items. So what we're going to do is create a right icon. We're going to change this to something like add. And we need to create a screen that allows people to add new items. So what I want to do, I can either copy this screen or create a blank screen or use one of the template screens. What I'm actually going to do is create a black screen. I'm going to say add post. I copied that top bit and I'm going to change this to add post. I'm going to remove the right icon. I'm going to add the left icon and I'm going to add a back button. And I think by adding this back button, it automatically, I want to add a link and say go back. Next, on this right icon, what I actually want to do is take it to this add post page. So I go to link and I link it to add post. I actually want to change the transition to none. And I want to make sure I change this transition to none. Oh, I think auto should be okay. So what we need to do right now is create a form for people to add a post. So I can add the form and it's going to connect to the posts collection. And I'm going to change this label to, let's see, fields. I'm going to change the name board to post title. I'm going to say enter post title. And I made it required. Content, we say enter content, that's required. And it automatically sets the logged in user. Last thing we're going to do is when they click the submit button, because we use the form, it automatically creates a new post in our post database. And we also want to go back to the previous page. So now when we view this, we're going to preview this. So we have our first post, we click, it takes us to our second post. I say this is my second post. Say this, welcome to On Entertainment. And I click post, create post. It takes me back and it takes me to this second post. What we might actually do here is add some additional information. So the information we're going to add, if we want to double click on one of these boxes, make it a little bit bigger. We also want to say the time. So I'm going to copy this text and paste this. And I want to say the time of the post. So instead of current post content, we want to add magic here, current post, and created date. we want the created date. What we also want, and then maybe I'll move this a bit down. So space them out a little bit. I said this isn't a design workshop, so don't worry too much about design right now. We just want to get the main functionality. Maybe we add the person who posted their name. So current post, author, and their username. So if we take a look at this again, you can see Dominic Norton. This is my second post, and it has the content. It says I posted this a minute ago. You can see I posted the other one 12 minutes ago. What we want to do next is to create a menu. So what I'm going to do on these is to add a left icon for the menu. I don't need to do it on this one. And what we want to do is add a screen, but this time our screen, we're going to use the left nav menu. So, and we can just call that left nav. So as you can see, it's telling us, note when you link to this left nav screen in the action, select the float right as the transition type. So what we want to do is go to this, go to the left icon. When they click on this, it's going to link to our left nav. We're going to go to the transition and we want to click float right. What we also want to do is make this dynamic and not username. We want it to say the logged in user's username. We have all these options, but I'm not sure all these options are going to be relevant for what we're trying to do. So we're going to delete a lot of these. We're going to delete this line. We're going to delete this menu right here. This, and we'll leave these two because I think I'm going to make something of these two. So we're going to take a look at this again. Click menu. We can see that menu comes up, but it doesn't come all the way. So I'm going to make some adjustments. What I want to adjust is the height of this. So let's see if I pull this down. When I click on this, okay, this comes all the way down. It doesn't go all the way up. So I want to pull this up. And we click this and we can see, no, it doesn't come all the way up still. So I'm going to go back. Needs to come a bit higher apparently. We're getting a slight problem here. Let's see if I can fix this problem. Okay, so what I actually pulled up wasn't this green. So maybe. Okay. So now we have fixed that. It's slightly off. Okay, it should be aligned right here. I click, I have this navigation menu pop up. And what I want to do now is to allow a user to see their own posts. So maybe I'm going to create something that says my posts. And I'm going to use an icon that is posts, maybe. I'm not sure what icon to use. Let's just use this one for now. And what I'm going to do is to create something similar to the feed, but I want to filter it to only show the current user's posts. And because we only have one user and we only have posts that are connected to the user, it's going to look exactly the same for now as what we have currently, but actually in actuality, it's not the same. So I'm going to name the screen my posts. And we're going to give that a title called my posts. We want to remove the left icon and we only want to show the user's post. So I'm going to actually copy this list and I'm going to paste this list over here. But this time I want to add a filter, and I want to filter by the author. Let's say, no, I want to add a filter and I want to say load in users post. So this is only going to show this current user's post right here. So now if we, what I do want to add again on the left menu is, and you can structure the layout any way you want to structure the layout. You can add a bar at the bottom. Just in this tutorial I haven't, but I usually add a bar in the bottom. What I'm going to do is connect that to the left nav. And I want to float right again. What I do want to add on this left nav is I want to take this down a little bit. And I want to put something there. And this time I want that to say, I want this one to say feed. And I'm going to add something that's like a timeline or feed. See what would be good for feed. I'm not sure a good icon, but I just put this RSS icon for now. And also what we want to do is connect. We want to link these to pages. So all we had to do to link it to a page is click on the element, add, action, link, and the feed is connected to the feed page. And the my posts is connected to the my posts page. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this. So I'm on the feed. I open, the bar comes up. I go to my posts. I open my posts. Obviously, it's the same right now. But as you can see, we don't have the add button here. So we might also add the add button there. Feed, you can either add it directly. You go to my posts, and let's add the add button from my posts too. The great thing about this is that I can link this to add post. And what actually happens in this add post is when you click create post, what it's doing is just taking you back to the previous screen that you came from. So if you add posts, if you add a new post from my posts, it takes you back to the my post. If you add a new post from feed, it takes you back to the feed. What we also, there's two more things that I want to do, and I'm going to remove this. I'm going to say this is sign out, and this signs the user out. So what I want to do is change this icon, and I want to say sign, I want to say exit, maybe. Let's see, okay, exit. And what we're going to do is when the user clicks on this, it's going to user login, log out. It logs them out. And because they're logged out, the first screen they're going to see is this sign up screen, which is the welcome screen. That's the first screen logged out users see. What I want to do lastly is I want to allow users to delete their post and also view the details of the post. So when they click on the post, they can view details of it. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to add another screen. Let's see if there is, I'm not sure if there's a template for this one. I think it is info. Okay. We might as well make it from scratch. We're going to make this from scratch. We're going to call it post details. We're going to copy this, the top bar. And what we want to do is show the post details. To do that, we have to allow some, firstly, what we're going to do is change this bar to post details. We are going to remove this right icon, and we're going to change the left icon to back. And now we have to give it some content and add some dynamic content. So the way we're going to do this is add text. And that is going to say the name. We're rushing ahead. Before we do that, we want the user to click on the item. And when they click on the item, it takes them to that specific item's post details. To do that, we are going to add an action that when the user clicks, each item links to the post details screen, but we want to, and it does this by default, so we want to push and we want to send the data of the current we want to send the data of this current post, whatever one they click on, to this new screen. And I'll show you why. Now, when we add text and we dynamically, we can say current post. We can say the current post is name. Just gonna copy and paste this. And I'm gonna say the current post is content. And what else would we put? And maybe we copy and paste this. And right at the bottom, I'm going to say the current post date. So I'm just going to group these. So now if we preview this from my posts, so we're in feed, but we want to go to my posts. When I click on this, you can see the details for that post, the details for this post. Maybe we want to I'm just thinking, maybe we want to also allow users to do that from the feed, because that'll be interesting too. We want them to do it from the feed. So we can just do the same thing. We can link to post details, push the current post to post details. And now whether they're looking at their own posts or whether they're looking at their feed, when they click on the post, they can see the details of that particular post. Maybe we want to allow users to delete a post, but only if it's their post. So what we will do on post details, on the post details screen, is I will add an icon to say delete, and instead of link to add post, what we want is to add an action and delete current post. So when they delete, it deletes the current post. What you can actually do is set up a modal that opens a pop-up and says, are you sure you want to delete this? We're not going to do this for this, because that's just an extra step. So we're just going to allow, as soon as they click delete, it deletes the post, and what we want it to do is link back. I think we're going to add another right icon, and what we want to do is edit. So we want to allow users to edit. So we're going to add a pen button, and we want to create a new screen. So I'm going to add screen, edit, post. So what I'm doing this time is just copy and pasting this header. I'm going to change the title to edit post. I'm going to remove these right icons. I'm going to add a form, because I need a form to be able to edit the post. And what I want to do is link this edit button to the edit post. I want to make sure it pushes the current post's data. I want to change this to posts. And I don't want to create a new post. What I want to do is update the current post. And I'm going to change the submit button to edit post. I'm also going to change the field. So name is going to be title. I think I named it title somewhere, and I named it name somewhere else. But what I want to do, and I'm not sure I can do this, I can't put dynamic text, so it's okay. So when the user clicks here and does that, They can edit the post. This back button is going to take them back. When they click submit, it's going to update the current post. To making sure that's all right. So this time we're going to test that out and just see if that's okay. So what we want to do is when we click on the details, we want to edit post. Let's see. So I deleted one post. We want to edit post. So hello. We're going to change hello world to hello YouTube. Edit post. It didn't take me back. So I'm going to go back. It did change it. So that says my edit post button doesn't have an action that takes me back. Also, I want to add conditions to these icons here. So I'm going to go add icon. And I only want it to delete the current post sometimes. And I only want it to happen when the current post, let's see, maybe the logged in user is equal to the current post. Let's see. I want to do it when the current post author is equal to the logged in user. That's the only time you can delete it or edit it. So I want to copy that, and I want to do the same thing with this edit button. When the current post, I think we did the current post author is equal to the logged in user. So now if you're not the logged in user, you can't delete that particular post. Only the person that created the post can delete the post. We have our features for our microblogging app. We have a feed. We have a way for you to add a post. We have a way for you to view your posts. We have a way for you to edit your posts and see the details. And we have a way for you to delete your posts. The only thing that we don't have that they have is a profile page. And I guess we're not going to add a profile page today. We're hitting about 45 minutes. You have a profile page here, save posts, following, and followers. So maybe I'll do a part 2 where I go over how to create a profile page, how to create save posts, following, and followers. We're going to take one more look at this before we wrap up this tutorial. And maybe what I'll actually do is show you. So this is what it looks like. You come into the feed, you can click on this, and you can see the post details. We go back. We can add a new post. and they added a new post. We can click on this. We can edit the post. We can say, we edited the post, and we can see my own posts. We can sign out. Can we sign out? So what we didn't add, sign out, and we want it to link back to the sign up screen. So now we're back at the sign up screen. I'm going to create another account. So I signed up, I can see the feed, but if I actually go to my posts, I can't see any posts because I haven't created any posts yet. If I click on this and I click delete, it shouldn't delete it. See, it doesn't delete it because that's not my post to delete. I'm going to create a post. This is my pro. As you can see, completely different user. But if I go to my posts, I can only see my post. If I go to feed again, you see when I click on it, delete, it deletes the post. So this is how you make a very, very simple microblogging app. You can then put this in the Google Play Store. You can put this in the Apple Store. You can use it as a PWA, a progressive web app. So if I click share, you can now give somebody this link, or you could add your own domain to the link, and people could use this. So it looks like this on a computer, but on the mobile phone, it just looks like a normal app. I hope you enjoyed this microblogging app tutorial in Adalo. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Don't be afraid to ask any questions in the comment section, and happy hacking.